How y'all doing? It's Judge Lynn. I have already gotten on my last nerve for the day. I have a phone call to make at 9 o'clock. I have so much anticipatory angst. It is ridiculous. And it's phone call. It's I gotta make it. It's gonna be some conflict, and I don't like conflict. I'm a lawyer that don't like conflict. My whole job was being in conflict. When I became a judge, it was fun because then my whole job was curing conflict, and that I was much better at and much happier as. Uh, Having said that, I'm gonna say this. Some of you have asked some really simple questions that I just never answered, and I thought today might be the day to do that. I'm a little bit sick of myself because I got up, well, at my normal time, 4:30, and I started cleaning because I was upset about the phone call. Is this not a ridiculous way to live? And I was cleaning, and I got it. I got started. And as my husband says, I went all total with it. And when you go all total with something, it's just like over the top. It's unnecessary. I'm just moving beds and just to straighten up the house, Lynn, before you go into all of that. But oh no, that's what I did. And now I gotta clean that all up. So, but anyway, I'm gonna do it because I can't stand chaos in my house when I got something I don't want to do. Can't take it. Can't take it. Now, some of you had some easy questions, and it would be easy to answer if I had my piece of paper, which is right here. Yes, I have stopped reading my emails, so I'm not going to put an email address down there. If you have a question for me, put it in the complex. The emails didn't work out. I tried, but I didn't get a lot of questions from different people. I got other things, and a lot of it, and so I want to do. Here's what I really want to do. I want to have do a widow's room, and I'm still gonna do it. I'm still doing it because I think that this is such an extraordinarily difficult thing that a whole lot of women are working with, and it's not a short-term matter. It isn't. It's a your whole second next existence kind of matter, and sounds like a Wookiee, doesn't it? That's my dog. Dogs out there doing something probably weird. But anyway, uh, so it's long term. And the thing is this, you can't. Well, anyway, I'll put a period on it. Uh, Someone said they would like a word of the day every day. I would love to. I would love to, but I don't know. Because when I start these talks, I never know where they're going to go. And I may not have a decent word for whatever it is. They're doing something out there that they shouldn't be doing. I might go look, and then again, I might not. I have a choice. No, they're not doing anything. So anyway, what was I talking about? I would love to do a word of the day every day, but it kind of has to come up. So if one comes up, it does. But I heard your request, and I want to do it. Um, so we'll see. Another question was, what happened to that podcast? And that's a very good question. It was called Feeling on Purpose. You can find it on here. I did 9 episodes and stopped. Just stopped. And I think what had happened was I had this huge underlying fear that I had not acknowledged that in my husband's absence, I was going to um, dissipate. I was just going to, to, to fall into a state of chaos, and that's partly due to what I watch on TV. I watch hoarders all the time, and a lot of the time, the women who were hoarders were like It happened when I used to be a pristine housekeeper, but when my husband died, and now look, and this is people who used to be pristine housekeepers. I've always been a slob. He was the clean one. I used to come home from a month away doing work. The house would be so clean, and within 2 hours, I'd mess it up, and we would always laugh about it. It was just like, I said, baby, I don't know how you keep it so clean. He says, because you're not here. Everything is cleaner when night. Because I have deposits of chaos. I'm high on entropy. You know what I mean? No, I don't want to do that. Well, there's a word, entropy. All energy tends to lowest energy and highest entropy. Entropy is in a chaotic state. Entropy. Yeah. Chaotic state. Woohoo. Yeah. But anyway, that's what I was doing back then. So I was scared that I was not going to be clean. So I went crazy with the cleaning, just crazy with the cleaning out closets and chairs and chairs and chairs and chairs. And when one of my friends said, you're just doing that to distract yourself. And I was, but I was also doing it because I was scared of the least of me finding out, getting ahead of me and doing some other things. And the other thing I tend to do is auger myself into the ground and put the blankets over my head, you know, and like Ali Sadiq, that joke about, yeah, he's under the blanket. Well, I was under the blanket. And I was scared I was going to get stuck there. So everybody's like, do a podcast, do a podcast, do a podcast. So I did one and I wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready. It was onerous. It was difficult. I wasn't having any fun. Still not having much fun. And I have more fun than I used to. And I started it too soon. But again, as a function of my fearful nature, I anticipate me getting all screwed up and I don't, you know, I don't know what it is. I don't know what that meant. But that's what I do. And that's when I started, I went to jujitsu, bunch of dudes in their 20s and 30s, and me, uh, jabs, Pilates, the refugees. I keep going to the refugees, SAG after meetings. I mean, I just started doing things, shut up and write, which is kind of stupid, but I think I'm going to go back to shut up and write because I really need to shut up and write this book. And my attention span is just gone. But again, it was fear that chased me from place to place. And when I open my widow's room, and we're really going to talk about it, you, looking back on the things you do and the fears you have because you are so disassembled, you are so just abandoned, um, that it's just interesting to look back and see how, yeah, it informed my actions and upped my angst. That's very interesting. Now, these days, I am not, so I'm not going out to any more jabs or Pilates or whatever. What I've decided to do was, because I got a treadmill and I got a thingy and a Peloton in my living room, to go use them since I bought them. Instead of paying other people, so I have to get in the car and go someplace I don't want to go. I was trying to talk to people, is what I was trying to do, but I am so socially awkward in person, it never works out. It just never works out. So anyway, now the first thing I decided to do was work. I want to see some progress. See, that's what my head needs, is progress. I can't be stuck now. I need to see something progress. So I started to work with my arms. Now, I ain't saying they looking like anything, but I got minimal old lady quiver. I got some, but minimal old lady 65 quiver. I'm looking, ooh, my hand. Ooh, it cramped up. Sorry. Ooh, I'm going for no quiver at all. And then I'm gonna get my calf muscles back because I used to, I loved being physically active. I had my black belt in Taekwondo. I used to dance. I used to do gymnastics. I played tennis for years. I used to love tennis. Tennis was wonderful because I was playing tennis at a time where uh, I was struggling with the kids and with Eric and everything was just, and you could just get up in the morning and whoop, and whoop, and oh, it was so therapeutic. And my coach was funny. She just loved me. She says, "Oh, let that one go, Lynn." But I was like a golden retriever. If she hit it too far in the other court, difficult shot, and I would get it half the time because I loved that. I'm like a dog. When you throw the balls just like them, I gotta chase it, and I would be so exhausted when it was over. And it was. It's also funny. I don't know. I get on these tangents, but it's also funny. I used to play tennis every 3 days a week, 2 hours a day at least, with my tennis teacher, who's become one of my best friends, Lori. I went to Australia with her, and when I stopped doing tennis, because we were going this, that, and the other, I started losing the tan I had, and there was like a season or a half a season where I was really light and people were accusing me of using bleaching cream. And I was just losing my tan. And I got tired of dressing it. So what I did was I said, make me up as a tanner Lynn than I am. But now I make sure but that's fine. We get lighter and darker and lighter and darker. I'm not using bleaching cream. You know, why would I do that? I was talking yesterday about stress to the system. And my mother was a strong believer in having stress to the system. And because it makes you strong, it makes you better, it works you harder, and you get on that treadmill between the endorphins from the music, endorphins from the running and the music, you feel better. And I ain't gonna lie, I haven't gotten on the treadmill in a couple of weeks because I've been satisfied working on my arms. But I'm gonna add that in at some point. And I have one last question from somebody who said, "Oh no, I'm not gonna answer that one. Do you have any siblings?" Yes, I do. I have an older sister, Kathy, and she's a doctor, neurologist. And she never got married, and she's very happy with her choice, which is something that I think should be pointed out. She's happy with her choice. Instead of going to track meets and taekwondo classes, I got my black belt while I was, my son was doing it. So since he was learning, I'm going to learn too. And then he stopped and I finished. Me and another mother. Oh, sorry. Scared me. Me and one other mother, and both of our kids quit, but we both got black belts. Oh, stop, 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 stop. Uh, it wasn't for you, Decker. Were you expecting a call? Were you? Oh, Lord. Bye.